It's Jetfire.
You suck.
Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're going to take a look at a figure that I picked up from sirtoys.com. Link in the description down below. One of my favorite places to get knockoff figures and third party and just all kinds of crazy action figures out of China. Great place to do business with, and I am super excited. This is basically a Robotech figure, or Jetfire, if you want to call him that. So it's X-Bot. So this is a KO version of the Robotech or Jetfire figure, Skyfire, or whatever you want to call him. This thing looks fantastic. And yeah, definitely cool. Available at the time of this recording over at sirtoys.com. As you can see, the packaging is just basically a bag. So let's go ahead and jump in there and get this guy. So here we have him out of the package, and I want to say this is a Macross Robotech Valkyrie Veritech Fighter, a VF1, I believe, variant. Not quite the Jetfire. I think that was a VF2. Leave a comment down below. I'm not real big on Robotech. He's kind of a little loose in some parts, so kind of be aware of that. But overall, it's pretty good. I do like the figure. I like the way it looks. It looks like Jetfire. We get some nice verbiage on his arms and shoulder. He's got a very rubbery antenna, which is kind of cool. The plastic bits are pretty decent. They're thin in some spots, so just be aware of that. Especially around these hinges, I would be careful. And the leg joints too. They could very easily snap if you're over aggressive with it. So I wouldn't give this to a child for sure, but it's not a bad figure for, you know, an adult collector. So articulation. Let's take a look at this. The head does move back and forth, which is very cool. The antenna do move forward and backward, so you can kind of get a blaster gun effect, or you can kind of rotate them backwards. I've seen that in both animes with Robotech, the Macross line. Very ratchety shoulder joint. They do move outward like that. And then we've got a twist at the upper arm and a nice hinge joint at the elbow. The hands do move in and out, and then the legs kick forward that far. They don't kick back too far because of the wings. There's a knee joint right there, very nice little knee joint, and then the feet do collapse inward a little bit, and that's really for transformation. But yeah, very, very cool looking figure, and very 80s. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, this thing looks gorgeous. It looks just like the old Robotech figures. I definitely dig it. You can see the Jetfire figure in there, although I don't think this is the exact same one. Love the neon green, the reds, the blacks. The logos on it look really cool. The antenna, it just screams the old 80s Robotech from the Macross series, and the sculpt work is just fantastic. So taking a look at the midsection of the figure, again, gorgeous. Sculpted very, very well. Looks just like they did back in the day. Love the black stripes on the wings, the logos, the red stripes on the arms. The silver paint apps on the gun look nice. The smoky gray cockpit is gorgeous. Again, looks so much like the old G1 Jetfire, except that had the bigger kind of jet thrusters on it. And I cannot recall if the Veritech Robotech figure that Jetfire was based on had those. Leave a comment down below. I want to say there was a version with that. There were a few versions of these, and I want to say there was one with a black and yellow color scheme too. If you remember, leave a comment down below. And finally, taking a look at the legs on the figure. Again, they're basically black and white, but there's some really nice sculpt work, and he's got the landing gear built into the front, which kind of, that black breaks up the white, which is very, very cool, and the feet that splayed out, just like the old Jetfire figure I remember from Transformers. And of course, it's not a Robotech figure without the Gerwalker mode. And I love this. The Jetfire figure could do the same exact thing. This was one of my favorite things about the Robotech fighters. I loved how they went from these space jets into this half mech, half jet type of mode, and it just looks gorgeous. Now mine, the legs kind of bow in a little bit, but that's okay. And to be honest, this is probably going to be the mode that I display this figure up on the shelf because it's just so damn cool. For comparison, here we have the knockoff Macross Robotech Valkyrie VF1 fighter next to a Transformers Kingdom Galvatron, and as you can see, this thing's a lot taller than a Galvatron there. And you know, the Jetfire figure was like that too back in the day. He was kind of tall and spindly, but definitely cool to see these side by side. It's just got that Robotech vibe, and I am loving it. Now, transformation on this figure is relatively simple, but there are some thin parts on it, so be aware. So the first thing that we want to do is fold his little antenna. I like to spin his head back around. Then we're going to come back here. We're going to pull the jetpack back a little bit. And then we're going to unfold his back piece like this. And then you can fold the head downward and then kind of start to maneuver his shoulders up. And what we want to do is kind of push his chest piece upward. That will release the shoulders that you can begin maneuvering them. Be careful with those hinges. And then you're going to lock the chest piece into the back. There's some tabs. You're going to lock that into place just like this. And then push this piece downward. And we can push this down for now. And then what we want to do is fold the shoulders out. They're on double hinges, so spin them and make sure that they are flat on the back. They're going to be a little wobbly until you get it done, and then you got these hinge joints at the hips. Again, be careful with these joints. You want to pull them out and up. Bring the legs backward. So pull it out a little bit, unlock it, and pull it back. There's a little button that'll lock into place. And then the head, I spin that back around. Lock this back like this so that you get the shoulders locked down into place like that. And then we're going to bend the legs upward like this. Bend this up like that. And then we want to move the arms down, bend the elbows forward. This one be careful with, it's a little bit tight, at least on mine, but bring the shoulders forward like that. And then we're going to bring the wings outward, just like this. Make sure everything's nice. And here we have the Gerwalker mode, my favorite mode. I love this. I think this looks fantastic. I mean, when I think Robotech, this is what I think in the anime. This is what the fighters look like. I mean, it looks gorgeous. That half jet on the top. Love that smoky cockpit. The robot legs and the arms, and just so much fun. I think this is absolutely gorgeous, and for sure the way I'm going to display it on my shelf. Now to put him into jet mode, we're going to take the gun out of his hand, which can be kind of tricky. It really is snug on mine. So, I mean, he's not going to drop it, so that's cool. Love the paint on that. I just think that looks super cool every time I see it. So now what we want to do for jet mode, we're going to straighten the arms. We're going to put the hands back into place. Straighten this arm, pull the hands down into the arm like that. And then we're going to lift the legs upward like this. And then we're going to fold the arms around and put the shoulders inward so that they're flat. So move that double hinge joint again and make sure that they are flat on the inside. Spin them around like this, just make sure they're flat. And then we want to twist the forearms. So we're going to make those spin around this way, spin around this way. So again, nice and flat, just like this. Then what we want to do is lift the legs backwards, and we're going to straighten them out all the way back. Pinch the feet closed. Do the same thing with this leg. Straighten it out. Fold it all the way back. Make sure the head's in line. Pinch the feet closed. Get them locked into place. Spin this backpack back around like this, and then lift your tail fins outward. And there we have our jet mode. Again, very cool. Very reminiscent of Jetfire, but very nice. I like how the wings move all the way out. You can maneuver them in. Very similar to the Striker jet from G.I. Joe. Very nice. Love the logos, the paint apps, cockpit, all that looks good. We get the jet turbine in the back. Looks nice. There's the undercarriage. Now we've got spring-loaded landing gear. So you push it down and they pop out. And the springs are super strong. That really surprised me with a KO figure. So these little springs actually launch the landing gear. It looks really nice. The wheels roll very well. And again, very strong springs. They just poop, pop right out. Very impressed with this. Was not expecting that at all. But yeah, so just lift that back, push the wheel in, put that panel down, push the button, and bloop, it'll pop right out. Very cool, very impressive. But yeah, definitely a nice looking jet for sure. So is the knockoff Macross Robotech Valkyrie Fighter VF1 something you want in your robot collection, Transformers robot collection? And you know, if you like Robotech, this is definitely something that you're going to like, because those old figures are super expensive. This looks gorgeous. All in all, it's pretty darn solid. There are some kind of weak joints to it, but that was the same way back in the day. So as an adult collector, I think this is a very cool figure at a very good price. And if you like the old G1 Jetfire figure, this could be a nice stand-in for that if you don't have him. I'd love to see some other Robotech figures. I'm pretty sure there were some other variations out there. Again, leave a comment down below if you are a huge Robotech fan. I had like the one Jetfire figure, the one they based Jetfire off of, and watched the cartoon, and that was about it. But this is definitely sucking me in. So there is the KO Valkyrie. Hey guys, thanks for watching. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Be sure to click all the things, subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell for new videos. And follow me on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links in the description below.